Okay, good to go.
Okay, we're getting into the NFL right now. We're going into a ball game this past Thursday night. This past Thursday night with a pretty good bunch of teams, Cincinnati and the Ravens. And this game was kind of not as what. There's so many. It was so many mistakes in that game. There's so many of the mistakes. It wasn't. There had to be a little bit more fair and more fair in it. And I know a lot of people have been so wonderful about the Ravens winning like this. I knew this was going to be one of these sudden, like, like a part of a occurrence where they couldn't have done any more better than what they were going to do. And I think this is a product where some of this was kind of not like it was so um, outstanding. And I just think that this whole thing at the league right now is going to be where the Ravens are going to stay at this time of the year. They only got about 3 or 4 games to go before the season ends. So, so I don't know. Here are the games for tomorrow. The Giants will be in Carolina. The Atlanta takes on New Orleans, and Buffalo takes on Indianapolis in the and that's tomorrow here on the NFL Today. Uh, and Denver takes on Kansas City. Minnesota takes on Jacksonville. New England takes on Chicago, and Pittsburgh takes on Washington tomorrow. Here's San Francisco takes on Tampa, and then Tennessee takes on the Chargers. Then the New York Jets take on Arizona. Then the other one is Philadelphia and Dallas. Then Detroit takes on Houston, and the Monday night game will be Miami and the Rams. I just I just think that some of these teams are really going to be a really kind of tough ball game to be in right now. This is going to be a tough game, really tough. There's a lot of good talent here. I mean, there's not much. It's not much in the outstanding. Some of it isn't. Some of it is. And I still think this was kind of outstanding where the wall when it came in. Okay, and I still think the Giants could win this game on Sunday. And I think this game's really going to be a very well. It's just like when you say one team's going to be playing the other, but this is going to be in Carolina on tomorrow. I still think this is. I still think this game is going to be really tough game to play tomorrow. I think a lot of these teams are looking at a pretty good quarterback position. The quarterback positions are all going to be kind of going up and down. They're kind of going up and down. But honestly, I don't think this was uh, quite a bad series here. I don't think this was such a bad time for a report of a series where it's going to be where the two teams are. These teams are really going to be a very fast, including good team to play with. But there's a lot of good teams out there. I think Atlanta and New Orleans play tomorrow afternoon. Then the Buffalo Bills take on the Colts. But this team is, I know there's more speed on that team. I think that's going to be a very good ball club so far. Denver takes on Kansas City. I knew Andy Reid. He comes up with a lot of good plays he could give up. But I still think they're going to really. It's just like everybody says. If you want to bet on, don't bet on nothing, because if you start betting on, you're going to really be in trouble. Games are really not hard to predict. If you predict the winner, do it right now, because this is all different with the all um, a lot of people who want to bet on this stuff, which I don't want to say. And Minnesota takes on Jacksonville, and this team is really a running game part of it. This running game is really going to be a kind of not like different lopsided teams going into this game tomorrow. New England takes on Chicago, then Pittsburgh takes on the Admirals tomorrow afternoon. The Commanders. I think this one's a little. Um, it's just like anybody who ever said they couldn't even play football. But I still think this is a little bit more kind of not like something you just don't want to be individual like. But some of these teams are really going to be a tough club to predict. What predictions you don't want to do, but you do things your own way. Do it your way, but don't do it your own. Just do it where you prosecuted these all, but don't go that far. Don't go far enough. The 49ers take on Tampa Bay. I still think these two teams are looking good for what they're looking at. I think the 49ers will win this game tomorrow. I think they'll win this one. The Tennessee Titans take on the Chargers. They're in Los Angeles. And I think the Chargers could win this thing over the Titans. The Jets take on Arizona. But Arizona is going to be home this week. I I think they're going to really be quite a series where Arizona is going to really be a tough ball club. Philadelphia and Dallas. This one's going to be a tough ball game for them. I really think this one's. I do think this one's going to be really. I don't really have no predictions of this one. I think the Eagles could beat Dallas tomorrow because I have. Um, if Dallas comes back in this game, I know they're going to be good and good of which I feel that anybody from it's just one offense to another defense so far for that. Then I think Detroit could beat Houston at home. But this one's, well, you might say some different teams in there, you mean. You think it's not going to be anything different. But I think the Monday night game is going to be Miami and the Rams. This one's, I'm, I'm gonna just say the Rams could beat Miami. But this one's, I can't say much about these two teams, but um, it just seems Miami could uh, slow down their running game a little bit, but just so they can get their running game in and get it out before they start any more time in. I think that a lot of these teams, much other these teams, are really looking good. But a lot of these teams, you think it's not going to look good, but yeah, I still think somebody's going to have to step up a little bit before they can start all over again. I should just go over some of these games for you. I should just go over some of the predictions. I could just pick one team here. I think the Giants are really. it really seems to me that it really sounds like each team is going to look good this year. How good we don't know, but Giants, they're struggling. They're playing good struggles here. They're playing struggling teams out there, and I don't know. It just seems even people who say they couldn't pick any of these guys, any of these teams, they're going to be good. They're going to be good enough, but you don't know. You know how good they're going to be, but you can't be um, no, not as much as you think it is. But then again, you might not be so good. But a lot of these teams, a lot of them think they're going to be the Giants. But I think Carolina. eh, I don't know, but I'll make it a draw for them too. A draw for them. Atlanta and New Orleans. I think they're going to be quite a difference here. Uh, there's going to be some different teams here. I'm thinking New Orleans is good at home. I know. But a lot of these teams, you think they're going to be kind of consuming, they're going to be a tough ball club or not going to be a certain club that could actually do something. Uh, there's just some teams that really are really looking better and better and better. Even here on the NFL today, you're going to realize that it's going to be a tough situation. And these teams are going to look good. A lot of these teams, I mean, for the other teams, there's some other teams out there they're going to be good and they're not going to be so bad. But a lot of these teams are looking pretty good with a lot of the good ideas. There's some ideas out there that you think it's not going to work, but it will work tomorrow. I think that's the way I see it. If you don't think it is, if you don't think I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not wrong with these two. But I still think New Orleans could win this game, kind of a lot of like the old time football teams are not looking too good, but they're going to be all right. I'll call it a draw for them. Buffalo at Indianapolis. I think these two, Buffalo is pretty good with their running game, and the Colts are good too. I'll call that a draw. I'll call that a draw with them also. And I'll still think Denver could beat Kansas City tomorrow at Arrowhead because their running game is pretty good with their running. Their running game's good, but honestly, I can't make anything definite. But these teams are looking kind of hard to do. But if you predict these two, they're going to be even. And even as they go, Minnesota and Jacksonville, I still think they're going to be a home team where they're going to really have to be stepping up to watch the ball move. When they move, they can go. But honestly, there, it's just something about some of these teams are looking pretty good. But some of these teams are looking better and better and better as they go. But it's just sometimes I think a lot of it is who's going to play well, who's going to play better. And it just sounds to me that it really sounds like it's really going to get clear that it's going to get better forever more, forever what it is. And I still think though Kansas City is a little bit more struggling what Denver is. Denver's a good ball club. I think their running game's good. I think a lot of the running games that they do right now are running better. Anything they can't run, they'll run. They'll run anything deep downfield and run more deeper. But the more they run, where they can pass. And I still think this is quite a different from any other football game that you can't believe in, but you think in your brain. What do you think about football? What do you think about it? Do you know how long that football really does go? And you think it's not going to work, but it does. It does work when you start betting on some of these games. You think the the bet E has to be more convenient than all the NFL. There's some quarterbacks out there. I still think they're going to look good. I don't know, but here we'll be back with some more of our. Uh, I'm going to just I'll run these down for you. New England at Chicago. I got some fact here. There's just some things that really here's something I ought to say about what New England does. New England has a running game right now. They got their running going. If they can just get it together and just remind themselves what they have to do, what they're going to have to do. I think that's one thing that really reminds me of what this could be for many people. In Pittsburgh tomorrow, they're going to be in they're going to be in Washington. I hoped that this team's not going to. I'll take a little break here. Philadelphia, Dallas. Dallas has their running game going here, but here's what I'm just not too sure of: the quarterback position. This one kind of worries me a little bit with Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia could have themselves not in a jam, but they're going to really be a pretty good ball club there. I think Philadelphia could beat the Cowboys out meaning. I think out meaning is who's going to play where. And I don't know if anything is as rough as what you think it is. And I'm just thinking this one could be a wonderful for this club. Who's going to play better football? The other team or where this one's going to be kind of going into this? I think the Cowboys could beat the Eagles, but I don't know. That's going to be a draw for me to let the TV on us decide this, because I don't think that's in Detroit and Houston. This one I'm not sure of. I'm not sure about. I know what Detroit has, but every year they come up during Thanksgiving and they play better football. And I don't. I do think Detroit could win this thing, kind of considerably up, but I don't. Well, it's kind of hard to predict these teams. It's kind of hard to say. But the Monday night game, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this whole thing. But this one sounds like it's. I think I think the Rams could beat the Dolphins out Monday night. I don't know. But they're going to be. I'm not picking a choice where you think it's not going to work, but it may work out better than what you think. We'll continue with more around. I'll see you tomorrow about 12:30, about 12 noon tomorrow, when the NFL today will start off with uh, a quite different. Um, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about some of these teams. You'll hear on the television networks and local network. I'll. I'm really going to say this straight out. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'll tell you all about the other side of the games today. I'll tell you about today's college football, and we'll be back with that after we'll be back with these messages. I said these messages